April showers bring May flowers. But the only showers that have been happening around here is me alone in a room crying with the door closed. The script is not completed. The truth of the matter is I'm probably over dramatizing missing this deadline. I mean, I don't want to miss any deadlines, but I was able to accomplish 70 pages. My goal is 100. And so I have 30 left. I mean, that is not a bad place to be. I mean, when you consider, like from the last video, I'm talking about sort of the challenges of like carving out the time of a full-time job. I had a side job this month. It's been a little crazy, but I was still able to get 70 pages, and I'm super happy with those 70 pages. I mean, they're good. Oh, by the way, there's a bunch of bees outside. We got a crabapple tree out there. It's unbelievably beautiful. It's like something out of a storybook. Okay, so about the production, technically, as long as I shoot everything that is outside in what appears to be the same period of time, all of the interior stuff could technically be shot even after the season changes, and no one would actually know the difference. So there is wiggle room in the time frame. Okay, we have got to stop watching these bees. I mean, what are we doing here, right? When I first saw the footage, I was stung. I mean, stunned at how beautiful it is. I mean, what are we doing? It's like something out of a storybook. But we got to get down to business. We got to get down to business. Let's talk about this script. So these are the 70 pages, and I'm such a visual person that I ended up taping them to my wall in order to be able to see them laid out. And what we have is Act 1, we have Act 2A, Act 2B, and Act 3. And I went back and just like closed out Act 1. So as far as I'm concerned, this is completed. In Act 2A, this is completed. But I still have to develop Act 2B and Act 3. But all in all, I feel really good about getting this far into the process. Okay, so that's pretty much the recap. It is what it is. I'm excited. It's moving forward. I'm gonna get there. I thought I would take the rest of this recap opportunity to talk about the tools that I'm using to write this. And the first one should not be any surprise. It's the Save the Cat. And the second book in the Save the Cat series is Save the Cat Goes to the Movies, which I really see as an extension of the first book. So I kind of see these as companion books that they go together. Okay, so the second one is Hal Akerman's Write a Screenplay That Sells. And the title is a little silly, but the guy is amazing. Was a teacher at UCLA. I have mined so much gold out of this. It's ridiculous. Now, I first found out about him because he did a screenwriting class on Creative Live. And that class essentially is a breakdown of this book. The book is phenomenal. The third is a post-it card because it's not a book. It is an episode from the podcast Script Notes. Episode number 403, Craig Mazin does a solo show in which he breaks down the way he views writing a movie or writing a script, and it is amazing. These three have essentially become the trifecta. There isn't one that is like the magic bullet. It's really, like a soup of all three of these that have proven to be the most beneficial to me. Another one worth mentioning is Pilar Alessandra's The Coffee Break Screenwriter. And again, if you're looking for podcasts, her podcast on the page is phenomenal. In the book, I find myself reaching out to this book a lot as a resource. Now, I will mention I have John Truby's The Anatomy of Story, and I also have Robert McKee's Story, and these are pretty good. I just haven't used them or gotten as much out of them right now, but maybe that'll change in the future. But they're pretty good. I want to shift a little bit towards inspiration. And that brings me to this. This is like brothers, and this is the Duplass brothers, Jay and Mark Duplass. The thing that's in this book that I love so much is in 2015, Mark Duplass did a keynote address at South by Southwest. And that keynote address was titled, "The Cavalry Isn't Coming." And the speech is available online, like it's still on South by Southwest website. So you can go watch this speech. But this speech became a cornerstone for so many people in thinking about how to approach the craft of filmmaking. And what I love about this book is they dedicate a chapter to revisiting that speech and to break down the ideas behind it. And they do it in the most concise and wonderful way. The idea is in the title. No one is coming to help you do this. There is no golden ticket to get you to the front of the line or to get you access. You are responsible for creating your own ecosystem, your tribe, your ability to make a film. Thus, the cavalry isn't coming. There's no help coming for you. You have to do this on your own. And I'm gonna end recommending a video that you can find on YouTube of Joe Bob Briggs. The video clip is called Keep Rolling, and it's from his last drive-in, which is his show that streams on Shudder. And it's essentially his advice to people who wanna be filmmakers and who wanna make films. And this is a message that resonates with me greatly. And you know, at the core of it and what the Duplass brothers say is that you already have everything you need to do this. You just need to do it. And it might not be pretty at first, but over time, it will get really good. Fingers crossed. Okay, so as far as a mic, I have a lav snuck into the collar right here. And as I pointed out, I'm sure you're seeing, this collar doesn't look like this other collar. It is a little funky. So here's what's going on. The mic cable is going up the back of the shirt, and then here at the neck, I used my Leatherman just to put a little hole. And then if you flip the shirt around, you'll see that that hole comes out underneath the collar. So the collar conceals that the wire comes around to the very front. And so under here is the mic. Now I'm using something called Hush Lav, and they are like a spongy cylinder that is meant to take these little mics like a COS 11D and fit them perfectly. The problem is it's ginormous. It's too big and too heavy. It ends up causing the collar to sag down. Now this shirt is very light material. If it was a little bit more rigid, it would hold it up no problem. But even if it wasn't just the material, the thing is so big that the collar can't really fold over normally. But if I were to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have done this type of setup on this shirt, even though it does have a collar, but the material is really revealing that there's something funny in there. So that does the recap for April. We now have 4 months down and 8 to go.